got an email from one of our customers that we've had in years past. We don't do their weekly maintenance, but they have called us for repairs. Their issue was that their vacuum cleaner is not getting very much suction, which is a problem we hear all the time. So there's a couple of reasons this happens. One of the first things we're going to check is the impeller to the pump. If the impeller is impacted with debris, which is right behind the basket, so if you pull the pump basket out, you stick your hand down in, make sure everything's shut off, power is off, stick your hand down in, and you can feel inside that impeller, and sometimes debris is impacted inside of there, which would diminish the flow of water, which would slow down the suction or the movement of your cleaner. So you want to make sure that that impeller is clear. Well, we had one of our service guys over there this morning. He checked it and it was clear. He checked the O-rings on the lid. They were sealed up good. He got the pump to prime up and run really good. He was getting about 20 pounds of pressure in the filter. Because what will happen is if you have an impacted impeller full of debris, your pressure on your filter is going to be almost at zero. And that's also a sign. If your pressure is really low, you might have something impacted in front of the pump there. Which it wasn't. The pressure was up good. But then when he turned the Jandy valve to full suction on the cleaner, the pump started cavitating. Like the water dropped out of the pump and you could tell the pump started to struggle. To us, that tells us that from that Jandy valve towards the pool where the cleaner is, there is something plugged in that line. Debris, goggles, you name it, we've seen it plugged in those lines. So what we do is we will actually take the cover off of the Jandy valve and remove the diverter that's in there, and we have a flush bag. This flush bag goes down into the pipe, then we hook it up to a CO2 tank, and we slowly turn on the CO2 until that flush bag fills up. Now, I don't suggest doing this if you're not a professional, because you can get hurt. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure in there, and if you go and you turn that CO2 on, that thing's gonna blow back and hit you. So you wanna make sure you know what you're doing, get it down in the pipe, turn on the CO2 just a little bit to get that pipe inflated, and it seals up that pipe. Then once you get it filled up, you can kind of turn it up a little bit more, but just keep an eye on it, and what's gonna happen is air is gonna shoot right back into the pool, and it's going to blow out that line, and that line's gonna get clear of debris. So you're gonna wanna check that. And then after you do that, after you clear that line, get the pump primed back up again and running, and hopefully the cleaner and the suction is good again. So we're gonna go over there and we're gonna try and do that. Just a little disclaimer, we didn't do this plumbing. Previous guy did. This will cause head pressure on your filter pump. But here is the line to the vacuum cleaner. And if you look, the pump is running pretty good right now. But once you go full suction to the cleaner, water starts to drop out, pump cavitates, which leads us to believe this line right here has some kind of blockage. So we're going to have to take all of these these screws off, take the cover off, and run a flush bag down in there to blow the line out. Tip the cover off, then you get your flush bag, which is this guy here. You stick it down in that pipe, hook it up to the CO2 tank, which is right here. We're gonna blow that line out. All right, we're gonna slowly fill up this air bag here, this flush bag. Real slow. Slower. Good. A bunch of crap come out. Check it out. We'll blow out this line. You got good flow of water again. It's working. Again, we would never suggest doing plumbing like this. We want for every, that pipe is 2 inches in diameter times 4, you would want 8 inches of straight pipe going into the pump. So that's something you wouldn't want to do, but he doesn't have much room. We didn't do it. We would have maybe 45'd it, but it's working. Look at all that came out of that just blew out of that line. Wow. Crazy.